Hey, what's up, everyone? So, the top stories right now are regarding UFO reports. So, back in the news again, Fox News was talking about it, as well as some other sources. Apparently, 1,500 pages of UFO related reports have been declassified by the U.S. government, including abductions and missing time suspension. Those individuals, they went through apparently some sort of sexual encounters with these things. They said that there have been several pages released, but they didn't take it credibly until their officials dealt with it. So why now? That's the biggest question. Why suddenly now? So you can read different reports. They talk about left with radiation burns, people with scratches and burns on their body. The Pentagon says that they're left with brain damage, time suspension, unaccounted pregnancies, and heart palpitations. So some of the people came up pregnant, and they were unaccounted. That was unaccounted pregnancy. They don't know where it came from. An F-18 pilot filmed the UFO, gave secret evidence to Congress, and said he thought it was part of a training. Pentagon states UFO sightings caused brain damage. This expert here says we're closing in on them. Wild claims coming from the Pentagon documents allege UFOs had sexual encounters with witnesses, even leaving one woman pregnant in a document. So, very, very interesting stuff. The revelations come as they were obtained from the Pentagon documents from the Defense Intelligence Agency, or DIA, as part of the Freedom of Information request that was started 4 years ago. A report called Anomalous Acute and Subacute Field Effects of Human and Biological Tissues investigated that the health impacts of humans who have had encounters that have actually had paranormal experiences. So they're actually looking into, our government is looking into paranormal experiences, including occurrences of apparent abduction, unaccounted for pregnancy, sexual encounters, telepathy, and perceived teleportation. This is in the Pentagon files. The investigation reports that 5 sexual encounters were listed on these pages between UFOs and humans, including 1 pregnancy. It also found alleged UFO sightings can leave witnesses suffering injuries, most commonly radiation burns. Other injuries include impacts on nerves, damage to the brain, marks left on the body, teeth vibrations, and many more. Sufficient incidents and accidents have been accurately reported and the media data acquired as to support a hypothesis that some advanced systems are already deployed and opaque to full U.S. understandings. The medical analysis, while not requiring the invention of an alternative biophysics, do indicate the use of to us unconventional and advanced energy systems. So some sort of unconventional and advanced energy systems took place or at play to cause this to happen. The report also apparently indicates that paranormal and supernatural activity took place. It has 42 cases from the medical files and 300 similar unpublished cases where humans have been injured by anomalous encounters, quote unquote. The report was part of over 1,500 pages of DIA documents relating to the Pentagon's secret UFO program began under the Trump administration. The Sun obtained including U.S. government commissioned scientific reports and letters to the Pentagon. The UFO program, called the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, was a study that actually ran between 2007 and 2012, but it was outed in December of 2017 by a former intelligence officer. It was centered around looking into UFO reports on UFOs. 7 News said newly released information from a shadowy Pentagon program details how the unexplained phenomenon continues to puzzle officials. This 1,500-page report shows advanced aviation threat to our people. The study was compiled in 2010, titled Anomalous, Acute, and Subacute Field Effects and Human and Biological Tissues. It included references to sightings of ghosts, yetis, which are Bigfoots or Sasquatches, spirits, and interactions with others that result in injury, death, or permanent healing. So, this is information from the Pentagon. These files include information. I'll read it again. Paranormal, supernatural, spirits, ghosts, yetis, spirits, interactions with Bigfoots, basically. Sometimes resulting in injury, death, or permanent healing. Attached to the report was a list of physiological effects on people who had come into contact with UFO or UAPs, which are unidentified aerial phenomenon. The list compiled by the Mutual UFO Network, being studied by our government, included 129 reported cases of apparent abductions. In that are 77 cases of electromagnetic field effects on vehicles, 75 instances of perceived time loss, 41 reports cases of human burns, 23 cases of electrical shocks, and 18 reports of force field impacts, and 5 reported sexual encounters. The existence of the secretive AATIP program was revealed by its former head and whistleblower, Luis Elizondo, in 2017 during the Trump administration. In an interview with GQ in November of 2021, he hinted at some of the effects of the reported interactions with these UFOs and UAPs. Quote, "I've got to be careful. I can't speak too specifically, but one might imagine that you get a report from a pilot who says, 'Lou, it's really weird. I was flying, and I got close to this thing, and I came back home, and it was like I got a sunburn. I was red for 4 days,' end quote," he said. Quote, "Well, that's a sign of radiation. That's not a sunburn. It's a radiation burn." And then a pilot might say, if they had a little closer, "Lou, I'm at the hospital. I've got symptoms that are indicative of microwave damage, meaning internal injuries, and even in my brain, there's some sort of morphology there. His brain is literally morphing," end quote. Continuing the quote, it says, "And then you might get somebody else who says really close to you, who says, 'You know, Lou, it's really bizarre. I felt like I was there for only 5 minutes, but I look at my watch and 30 minutes went by, but I only used 5 minutes worth of fuel. How's that possible?' Well, there's a reason for that, we believe, and it probably has to do with warping of time and space, or warping of space-time." The full UFO phenomenon, full documentary 2021, is Channel 7 News Spotlight the UFO Phenomenon on YouTube. The report shows how authorities rate different encounters with UFOs. There's anomalous behaviors, rated as AN1, AN3, and AN5. AN1 includes encounters that have no lasting physical effects, including sighting of lights. AN3 includes encounters where people actually come in contact within 150 meters of an associated entity, when they usually come in contact with entities such as ghosts, spirits, elves, or other mythical/legendary entities. This is in the government reports. AN5 are classified as reports of injury or death. A physical marks can take place on a witness. That's known as a CE1 or 2. CE4 is when a witness is abducted. CE5 is when a close encounter leads to a permanent physiological injury or death. Channel 7 News here shows the spotlight on UFOs. Another set of photos from the Navy came out of the personnel showing 3 objects apparently flying in the sky shaped like a sphere, an acorn, and a metallic blimp. After 75 years of taboo and ridicule, serious people are finally discussing the mysterious flying objects in public. But why now, NBC said. The U.S. government's acknowledgement that UFOs are real undoubtedly begs the question, are we alone? Is this some sort of craft from out there? These aircraft, we'll call them aircraft, they're displaying characteristics, the Pentagon says, that are not currently within the U.S. inventory nor in any foreign inventory that we are aware of. Elizondo said, the objects that they have researched distribute characteristics not of this world. In protest of the secretary surrounding the program and the internal opposition to funding it. The Pentagon's handling of the report of these unidentified flying objects has more to do with ensuring any potential national security implications. They're being taken seriously now, whether in this world or whether they're not of this world. Quote, it doesn't matter what they are. End quote. We can't ask our pilots to put their lives at risk unnecessarily. Regardless, senators have received a classified briefing from the Navy officials on these unidentified aircraft or UFOs. Very, very fascinating. Let me know your thoughts. This is all for this video.